What's up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Play Basara 3! Now with Motochika on our side, we'll continue the fight for the Western Army. Masamune is easily going to take out Yoritsuna here, who is the lovely tree hugger in this game. We'll fight him eventually, but he's not particularly interesting. And then, just like in the previous campaign, we have the unity between Hojo and Ieyasu. So Hojo has joined the Eastern Army just like in the previous campaign.
It seems Ujimasa. Are you talking about that senile old fool?
The one who was defeated under the banner of Lord Hideyoshi.
And we should care about this. Why exactly?
The old man still draws breath only because of Lord Hideyoshi's mercy. Yet he allies himself with Ieyasu. That ignorant, arrogant fool! It's unforgivable!
What should we do?
What do you think? Next time we meet, I will end his worthless, traitorous life!
Alright, so we're going to adjust our setup really quick here before moving into the next fight. I want to potentially equip a different weapon. So really quick, shout out to somebody who's been commenting on the recent videos. Xenojin Hayabusa has been one of the main contributors to the discussion about Mitsunari and his combat sandbox. And as you can see here, we just looked at our arts that are available. We have a new one called Depression, and he pointed that out to me in the previous video. I wanted to make sure we show that off here. I almost freaked out for a minute there when he mentioned it, because I was like, oh crap, did I forget to show off a move with Mitsunari? But we just unlocked it here, and I actually do end up using it in this fight, so it's not something I forgot to show off. It's just, I don't think I utilized it to its fullest potential the way that he described it, so we'll show off exactly what it does in this fight.
Speak up.
I've approached the Oracle in an attempt to persuade her to ally with the Western Army.
What are you talking? Oh, that Oracle.
That Oracle. Her power would be quite an asset, don't you agree?
Must I keep repeating myself? Of course it would be an asset. Now, let us be off.
I am here to serve your wisdom, sir.
Alright, so we're going up against Tsuruhime, who is referred to as the Oracle in this game. Will she be the Oracle like in the Matrix? Probably not. She's only rumored to be able to see the future, and which impacts her decision in this game. Well, she almost exclusively joins the Eastern Army, just like Yoshiaki Mogami. So we're going to be fighting her regardless at Sekigahara, which is unfortunate, but we'll do our best to persuade her right here and now. I really do like her stage. When I first saw her design when Basara 3 came out, compared to all the other female characters that we've had in the series up until now, I wasn't really that fond of her, but yeah, I think she's okay now. I mean, design-wise, she's grown on me. I like we have a bow-wielding character. So there was a quick demonstration of Depression there. That is when you hold down L1 and hit triangle. And essentially what that does is you'll see Mitsunari do like a lean to the side like he's about to do a feign maneuver. But really what he's about to do is do that agile swipe across all the enemies directly in front of him. And that can be really good as a counterattack and for clearing out enemies in a wide radius around you. So it's quite good. It's a good combo finisher. And I'm sure it can be used for lots of different purposes, but unfortunately I don't really use it all that much. I prefer to use Flash and some of the other abilities. But definitely, like I said, in terms of gameplay-wise, in a Musou game, Let's Play, I want to make sure the combat is varied as possible. So this is just visually pleasing to watch, so I'll make sure to use Depression whenever I see fit to use it. Again, it's the most angsty edgelord type move that Mitsunari could possibly have. I guess the cliche is like if you have an angsty edgelord with emo hair that can teleport behind an enemy, like that's the ultimate cliche, and he can kind of do that with that move. So yeah, it totally fits his character. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fight Tsuruhime here. You're probably thinking, well, that was a really short stage, but she has a few tricks up her sleeve, and the Oracle will not be defeated so easily. I brought in Motochika as our ally here. He deals fire damage, obviously, but he doesn't really have that many other abilities. But I like having Motochika as an ally because he is awesome, as I've established, and he's one of my favorite characters. Not to mention, it's kind of like... it's really cool to actually use a character that you just defeated as your secondary ally, because it actually kind of means that the battles that you're fighting actually make somewhat of a difference in the future fights. That was a good move there. We air juggled Tsuruhime a little bit and then hit her with Vexation. Okay, so Tsuruhime has a few tricks up her sleeve. So when we get to the end, we start fighting her there. After she takes a fixed amount of damage, she's going to automatically trigger the next sequence of the fight, which is her jumping to another nearby ship. Otherwise, just fighting her on her boat, with our boat attached to it, I guess, would not be much of a very large stage. So, unfortunately, there's no way to kill her quickly enough for her to prevent her from advancing to the next part of the stage. She automatically does it when she takes a certain amount of damage. I'm going to be trying to deal as much damage to her as fast as possible, but unfortunately, it's going to be pretty inevitable. It's going to happen. So even if we were to try to use our Basara attack when she's low on health, it'll automatically stop us and have her transition to the next stage of the fight. So unfortunately, we're going to have to see this whole thing out to the end. So let's talk about Tsuruhime a little bit. So again, in the context of Basara, she is known as the Oracle, although that doesn't really have much bearing on her historical depiction. In her historical depiction, she is the daughter of the head priest of the Oyamazumi Shrine, if I pronounced that correctly. And she was actually killed there, which results in a lot of her historical depiction is she's sort of the guardian of that shrine, and her armor remains there to this day. So I believe she also had the highest affiliation with the Kono clan, again, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So in the context of Basara, her clan emblem, her logo is the Kono clan, so that's sort of her flag as we see that. So we did a crap ton of damage to her just there with our Basara attack, and we're going to do a little exchange here that's going to make her transition to the final stage of the fight. That should have killed her, quite frankly, but at least it's going to make this next phase really quick. So unfortunately, nothing we can do to stop the ship from docking at land, which we have to chase her onto the port. She will not escape our grasp that easily. So in terms of gameplay, she is unlocked. She's not available at the start in Basara 3, but she is unlockable as soon as you complete Ieyasu's campaign. I'm all over my words today. As soon as you complete Ieyasu's campaign, she's playable. So we could play as her right now if we wanted to. Truth be told, I've never actually played as her, and I think I should probably do that. She's probably pretty interesting to play as. In Basara 4, she's unlockable as soon as you complete the game as Motochika, which is an interesting choice. There's some more channelers over here. We're going to take them out before they slow us down any. So she does have a tendency to ally herself with some of the other female characters in Basara 4, and we'll demonstrate that when we get to it. But for this game, like I said, she has grown on me quite a bit. I wasn't a big fan of the whole little girl type character when I first saw her, but I'm like, you know what? She's pretty cute. She's an archer, and I like her stage. Like her stage has a great layout and great music as well, if I can be frank. But unfortunately, she's going to ally herself with the Eastern Army no matter what we do here. So we'll be fighting her again at Sekigahara. And she may or may not be allied with another female character during that event, if you guys know who I'm talking about.
Haven't they given the order to retreat yet?
We'll just have to see what happens.
I will annihilate all your little pawns.
This is an interesting enemy type here. These guys are going to be lifting up giant kegs, giant barrels, and throwing them at us instead of boulders. It's just a variation on the same enemy, though. But yeah, at least this game, to its credit, and this is a very underrated thing about Musou games, is having distinct enemy variety. Every faction's enemies look aesthetically different, they're highly detailed, and you have different enemy variations that are contextual to what map you're on. This is not something we see in every Musou game, and again, that was something I was very critical about Fire Emblem Warriors for when we first saw footage of that, is that the enemy designs were very, very bland. They didn't really have any unique details. It was just something for you to swing your sword at, essentially, and there was no life behind that enemy. Oh, she's at full health again. We'll have to beat her down to size again, it looks like. Won't be hard. I guess, I'm pretty sure Mitsunari does not have any objections to hitting women. So, maybe maybe his pirate comrade here will teach him some manners. But he probably already tried in the previous video, and it didn't really go so well now, did it? But yeah, honestly though, this game, to its credit, I still feel like in terms of production value is one of the top-notch Muso games. Oh, she's using her Basara attack against me, which is it's okay. It's dealing a lot of damage to me, but it's kind of weird. I guess it fits with her theme and style. Yeah, the fact that when we kill the enemies in this game, they have like last words, or they'll be like, "I'll avenge you," or "This is madness. Look at all the violence and everything," and they say things like that. It just adds so much more life to the fight. You actually feel like you're fighting against a real army with real people, as opposed to just blank repetitive slates over and over and over again. So anything to decrease the repetition and monotony of a game like this is definitely... I'm completely overkilling her here with my Basara attack, but I was being safe. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm just ready to be done with her.
Despite her modest exterior, she is quite the lady of action.
Then after I finish with Ieyasu, her head will be the next that I collect.
Yeah, Yoshitsugu even says there in the end, he's like, yeah, she's straight up going to the Eastern Army. Our efforts were kind of in vain, but oh well, it was a fun fight. I'd rather fight her than the other person we could have fought there. That would have been lame. But I'll try to show off everybody, all the potential fights before the end of this Let's Play. Alright, we made it up to 20.